Star Trek Picard getting 5 stars from myself. Watched the first episode just now. Very promising. It feels like a movie, which is great because we're living in the golden age of television. You know, if you're a fan of Westworld and Game of Thrones, Picard could be the next one. Could be the next big thing. I much prefer it to Star Trek Enterprise and Star Trek Discovery. I will be comparing it to Voyager and Deep Space Nine. It is that good. I quite enjoyed it. It's like watching a movie. It's like Blade Runner. You know, it does remind me of the Ron D. Moore era of Star Trek. So far, very happy with it. And the way, like, when they released the trailer for it, I was like, yeah, cool, okay. I didn't think it was going to be that good. And I was like, wow, they revealed too much. And then when you watch the first episode, it's like, oh, okay. A lot of really shocking things in it. That made this trailer look different. And if you watch the whole thing, okay, so now spoiler warning if you haven't watched the first episode yet. When I watch at the end, obviously, like, it reveals bits of things that's going to happen throughout the season. But judging by the first episode, don't jump to any conclusions because the first episode is very different to what the trailer portrayed. So, if you've watched Star Trek Picard Episode 1, you're going, what the hell happened to the Romulans? What's up with that? So in 2009, J.J. Abrams did a reboot of Star Trek. And what happened was that there was a supernova that wiped out the Romulan Empire, and a Romulan ship went back in time. That created the J.J. Abrams Calvin timeline. So that reboot was actually just an alternate universe that involved time travel. In Star Trek Picard, we are watching what happened after the supernova from Picard's timeline and not J.J. Abrams' Star Trek, if that makes sense. Of course, probably should have written it down on a whiteboard. The complicated time travel. Yeah, so what has happened is there was a supernova 10 years before the TV series Picard, and Starfleet was building a fleet of rescue ships to save the Romulans, and they were using synthetic life forms, what we might as well just call androids, to build them. But the androids revolted and destroyed Mars, and so Starfleet chose to solve the android problem instead of the Romulan problem. And thus most of the Romulans were destroyed, and Captain Picard was annoyed with two things: that they didn't save the Romulans from being destroyed, but also that they banned all synthetic life forms. So as we thought in, can't remember the year, Star Trek Next Generation's episode was like the measure of man when Data was on trial. Captain Picard is really into the rights of artificial life forms. That is why he has gone rogue. So the fact that, like, Mr. Starfleet himself has become Mr. Anti-Starfleet might be a shock to people, but hey, this is the 4th time they've tried to redo Star Trek. At least they've redone it really, really well. I am very happy with this. It's like a reboot, but it's not a reboot. Like, Star Trek Enterprise was the same timeline, but they tried to do it in a goofy way that they thought was popular whenever that series came out. Then they did the J.J. Abrams Star Trek series, which was good, but still a little bit too goofy. Ended really due to politics, and then Star Trek Discovery. I don't know if they're still making it. No idea. That was also good, but all those three were too goofy. Star Trek Picard is a reboot, but it's not actually a reboot. It's a continuation. It's the series after Voyager, I guess. It's just a better version of Star Trek. They managed to improve it. It's interesting. It's like a blend of Star Trek and Star Wars and Blade Runner. I like it. Very happy. Engage.